Welcome back to MomoCon Power Hour.
Oh, we're still doing cons, that's right.
We gotta do cons till we run out of them.
MagFest. More like...
You can't start both episodes, man! You can't do that on both episodes!
I can, and I will.
You can't make the running gag for this fucking game. Every episode starts.
On the last episode of this, I'll finish the joke.
Welcome back
Welcome back.
to another Viva Pinata inspired episode.
We're having a great time
Higurashi.
today.
We're having a banger of a time today. Have you guys ever
Reading.
thought about your future?
I always
sure
think
have.
about my past.
I think about my present.
Anyway, we're here about Takano's past.
Wow!
He took off his keycaps again, even though he put them on. He put them back on. He took them off again. He's not even hungry now. He ate. Like, take them off.
It was fun. I like the push. Is this me?
It's somebody.
It's probably Takano. Or no.
No.
It's a jobber.
Just think about it.
It's-
Use your brain.
It's
buddy.
a jobber. It's jobber fucking John Tokyo. Hey, it's me. No.
Keiichi.
I want him so bad. I want him so bad. It's me, John. John Tokyo. Allow me to introduce you. This is Major Takano. Major, this is Dr. Kiyosuke Irie.
Ah! What'd you do?
Go back! Why did it do that?
God damn it, Connor. Messing with your keycaps again.
I'm sorry.
Hello, I'm Irie.
Oh, you get Takano narration.
Takano POV too.
You get Takano POV and then immediately have to switch to Irie.
Irie seemed extremely nervous at our first meeting. He probably thought I was in charge of some suspicious organization.
Yeah, you are.
Please relax. Call me Takano. Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me here. I really appreciate it. Please, have a seat.
This is gonna suck for you.
A model lower middle class citizen. It's a good way to describe Kyosuke Irie's demeanor. One could also say he was the stereotypical type of person to get conveniently discarded after those crafty elders used their seniority to constantly pick on him. He certainly doesn't seem as cunning as I am. But that doesn't mean he isn't ambitious. Like me, he's a young person who dreams of accomplishing something great and leaving his name upon generations to come. While he acts humble in person like this, his articles are actually progressive as well as aggressive. The gap between the two was quite intense.
Takano is gonna be like she on POV, isn't she?
I've read the data concerning... nope. I've read the data concerning this Hinamizawa syndrome. That was southern. What did you think? Well, it's really quite a shock. It's very possible that this is something that steps into the dark side of today's medicine, but I can hardly control my intellectual excitement in knowing it's a mystery that has yet to be solved. Hearing that made me chuckle. Irie is more than interested in Hinamizawa syndrome, which is good enough for me.
This is neutral.
She had been through the ringer with far too many people to reach this day, so her own intuition could tell she would get along well with this man. Even if he isn't useful to me, he won't cause any problems. For both me and my sponsor, he's the best person possible for the job. I was shocked too, to imagine a man of your experience and knowledge was just wasting away in the medical office without any responsibilities or work to accomplish. I have to say, that was a grave loss to the medical field. Ha 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 ha! Irie laughed. He probably thought I didn't know, but I had received detailed documents on him, so I knew why he was exiled from the limelight despite his rare talent and achievements. Irie lore time.
Wow!
Wow!
Do we get to learn why he's German?
need brain surgery to become German.
It's the Fallout New Vegas lobotomite fucking arc. They took his brain and installed German and then put it back in him.
Thank God. As long as they keep the N on there, he'll be fine. Because once he becomes Germa, it's done for. He's displayed extraordinary skill under a neurosurgery expert. I know everybody. God damn.
No, but like I can imagine Germa dressing like Irie and just his like fucking unhinged battle with chat about whether or not Hinamizawa syndrome is real. It's just like, chat, I'm not going to inject the parasite into me to see if it's real, chat. You're crazy, chat.
I'm not gonna cut open his skull to check for a parasite, chat. No, I'm not gonna do it.
We're not gonna do that, chat. And then you skip 40 minutes in the VOD and you see him come down with the axe to split the guy's skull open to look. And everyone in chat is like, Germa, why are you a maniacal killer just murdering this poor man for no reason? You're splattering his brains everywhere. And Germa's just like, chat, you literally told me to do this, chat. What are you talking about? Like, chat, this is what we're talking about doing, chat. Like, I'm just doing it, man. And I imagine EDA playing fucking Simpsons Hit and Run. Oh, man.
Was he having a Simpsons Hit and Run experience with Ace
Combat? No. Ace Attorney?
No. Fucking
Armored Core?
Armored Core.
I don't know. I haven't watched that yet.
That's what each of the titles is like. I'll never play Ace Armored Core ever again. And it's 2 videos so far being like, Drummer will never play Armored Core ever again.
Can you please do the Germa fucking Tomata or Germa Idia edit? I forgot his fucking name.
What's the noise they make when they for the get filtered joke for Armored Core?
Oh fuck, I don't know. Oh, I haven't seen it in forever.
I don't remember. But just, get filtered, get filtered, get filtered, get filtered.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh my god.
Shout out to Germa Yay. EDA is a Germa character.
What would you just say before I did the get filtered joke? I forgot.
Oh fuck. Oh, doing a Germa EDA sprite edit. I think that go hard. You give him like, it's like this picture of him. You have
I'm just gonna
the
find
chat on the left side. You put him in like a fucking Ryu Kishi screenshot of like Germa's room. Put like auto in the bottom right.
you know the background where he turns off his computer with his I can see it. You just put the the EDA German sprite with the background. You put it there, and the text comes up. Did I just turn off my computer with my foot? I'm gonna have to edit this now. I'm so sorry. September 2024 me. I don't know how to do that.
We're like 5 minutes into this video. We've already gotten the penultimate Higurashi bit.
I'm starting to think you need to do the linear blur, then Gaussian blur, then you do the cartoon filter, then pasteurize it, whatever. Not sure.
He's fucking Jeremy EDA, man. Oh god.
God damn it. He displayed extraordinary skill working under neurosurgery experts, and everybody expected a bright future from him.
Just like Germa, man.
But he was kicked out due to an ethical controversy.
That sounds right.
EDA's pet theory was that the antisocial behavior of individuals could be just explained by brain disorders. He believed that no one in this world was born a villain, and that they were all just poor patients in need of treatment. He proposed that they were all proper and normal when born, yet as they matured, psychogenesis and various exogenous factors caused brain disorders that made them into villains. Therefore, what those evil people need isn't punishment, it is treatment. And if the diseases are treated, they will become good citizens again. That manner of thinking actually fell in line with the Confucian belief of innate human goodness. According to this theory, humans are born with the capacity for altruism toward their kind, and it is only afterward that they learn and acquire cruelty. EDA believed that acquisition was the result of brain disorders. The human brain creates human thoughts. Therefore, if one becomes emotionally ill, that means their brain is ill. So if their brain gets treatment, they'll recover emotionally too.
What is he, fucking Maruki?
Who?
Persona 5?
Oh.
Or P5 Royal, Maruki.
You fucking spoiler me.
Bastard. I didn't even spoiler you. Maruki tells you that in the first social link, man. Have you played Royal?
We're back. I've answered this question 15 times. I've not finished Royal, but I've beat the main game.
You need to finish Royal.
Someday.
Maruki's my boy!
When do I have time to finish Persona fucking 5
Drop
Royal?
out of college.
No.
It's more important.
The field was called psychosurgery. From yelling and laughing so much, I know I can do a Trump now. This is a state that I can do Trump very well. Otherwise, I can't.
I know when you could play Persona 5 Royal. You could do one fight every day.
Kill yourself.
You got the fight.
I actually don't have time for that. It would take too long to boot it up, start it, turn on the TV, sit down and play the game, and get into a fight. I could spend all that time doing schoolwork.
Every time you get a quiz answer or a question right, you do one move in Persona 5.
It has fallen out of practice in the current Heisei era, but the surgical techniques were applied until the mid-Showa era. Mid-Showa. Especially since it produced spectacular results on a chronic mental patient that was said to be incurable. The man who invented it even won a Nobel Prize. That's how revolutionary it was. Humans think, that's why they become ill. Everybody knows those who overthink matters are prone to mental illness. When the organ that thinks and debates grows ill, humans deviate from social behavior. That part is called the frontal lobe. Put simply, psychosurgery is a surgery performed to cut the frontal lobe. This kind of surgery doesn't require removing the whole epicranium. A small hole is drilled through the cranium and a special scalpel is inserted down to cut it. It is not a major surgery, just a technique for quickly cutting the precious frontal lobe. This is a lobotomy.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, are we talking about lobotomy?
I think it's lobotomy. Indeed, it was revolutionary in its simplicity. All the severely ill mental patients miraculously recovered, so the technique spread around the world quickly. Those with obstinate and chronic mental illnesses, the severely ill trapped in deep, inescapable depression, all of those could be saved by this technique. Throughout history, humans have come up with many different religions and magic tricks to heal emotional injuries. So needless to say, the idea of being able to treat them with a surgical technique was truly revolutionary. EDA admired psychosurgery and pushed forward the field of surgical techniques to treat human souls. However, from the modern human rights standpoint, severing a portion of the brain simply because someone is emotionally disturbed is absolutely out of the question. Takano would absolutely discuss this topic this way.
Oh yeah, 100%.
People gradually started to think differently and said that psychosurgery was inhumane. Their frontal lobe controls how people think, but it is also part of what makes human act human. There's quite a few cases where that cut caused drastic, irreversible changes in the patient. A baseless happiness born from lack of thought, a change in personality, a loss of interest in everything, major mood swings due to the lack of control over one's emotions. Some even lost part of their memories. Of course, some didn't even survive the surgery. As the Showa era approached the 40th year, the use of psychosurgery declined. Also, due to development of psychotropic medicine, the surgery was hardly performed anymore anyway. Yet some people still believed in the idea and continued to perform the surgery and gather clinical data. They wanted people to recognize the value of this technique once again. Some of these surgeries were performed without consent. One theory is that in Japan alone, there were thousands of people who woke up from general anesthesia only to find part of their brain had been removed. Today, to perform such a surgery without a patient's consent is considered totally unethical, but it was different at the time. For one thing, the idea that doctors required prior patient consent was proliferated in the modern Heisei era. Therefore, people at the time didn't think it was that big of an issue. It was only later that people started to argue that it was inhumane. Finally, a decision was reached and the curtain closed with a rejection of psychosurgery. Later, the Japanese Society of Psychology and Neurology passed their resolution to end psychosurgery. After that, psychosurgery was banned throughout Japan and made a forbidden subject of Japanese medicine.
Me falling asleep first at the sleepover and I get lobotomized.
Irie was the leading person in the field of psychosurgery. He continued to advocate for its effectiveness and results. Therefore, he was treated as a war criminal who practiced inhumane medicine, and he was exiled from the public eye. However, that doesn't mean he changed his beliefs. He still believes that immoral behavior is caused by brain disorders, and the secret to treating them is, in fact, hidden in the brain. So the existence of Hinamizawa syndrome, caused by parasites living in the brain that control human emotions, actually affirms his theory.
You think he lobotomized Sadako?
Oh, someday.
Sadako turns 16, he just funk.
If it's alright with you, I would love to accept this position. Of course. Given Hirie's history, he would never turn down this offer. Despite his mild-mannered appearance, Hirie was possessed of a mighty ambition. There was no way he didn't desire a chance to complete research that would prove himself to be to the medical society that ostracized him. I'm handing him that chance on a silver platter. Thank you very much. I knew you'd accept. We are very lucky to have an expert like you. You'll be a great help. But are you okay with me being the director? Wouldn't it be better for you to hold that position, Takano-san? I'm just a simple doctor. Being in charge of other people is... Don't worry. I'll give you my full support. Our sponsor wanted to pick a civilian. Besides, wouldn't you like to be called Director Hirie? Ha! Well, ha! But... Hirie laughed to hide his embarrassment. We're building a research center in Hinamizawa. Publicly, it'll be a clinic. So with your consent, Dr. Hirie, we'd like to call it the Hirie Clinic. Lord of my own castle! That's more than I can deserve. You'll also be placed under the SDF, so you'll be registered as a medical officer with them. Since you'll be my superior, you'll be a lieutenant colonel. Lieutenant Colonel Hirie, how does that sound to you? Oh, I'm not a military man. I'd rather refrain from being called a lieutenant colonel. Director is already a frightening title as it is. Oh my. He's getting a chance to research brain parasites. Plus, being given the title of director of a new clinic that's camouflage. Plus, it comes with staff and funding. He'll even have support from the Defense Agency and the Ministry of Health and Welfare, as well as a research lab with state-of-the-art equipment. No wonder he's laughing so excitedly. However, there are some risks too. Since he'll be involved with this secret research, he has an obligation to keep it a secret. Also, he's going to an area plagued by mysterious and bizarre disease. There's no guarantee he won't contract it himself. But Hirie is too young to even think about those things. Aware of all the risks, he quickly signed the contract with the ambition to have people recognize his talent once again. When I saw him sign the contract, I finally relaxed. I knew he would agree to join us, but at the same time, I was afraid of the chance that he'd refuse. Selecting a director proved more difficult than expected, and the only candidate Takano paired well with was Hirie. So, if Hirie refused to take the position, then frankly, she'd be placed in an even worse situation. Now that Hirie has agreed to take the position, researching Hinamizawa syndrome can finally begin. The research center, or rather, the clinic, will be completed next spring. The Ministry of Health and Welfare and Defense Agency will send the best equipment and staff, plus an abundant supply of funds. Then finally, it just keeps switching on me. And finally, our research will finally begin in earnest. Everything is going well. Of course it is. I've put so much effort into making sure things went smoothly up to this point.
Okay, that's it. Congratulations, Director Hirie. Major, the contract has been signed.
Thank you. I look forward to working with you, Director Hirie. I look forward to working with you too, Takano-san. I hope we can get along. I'll be devoting my best efforts to this. No, thank you. Let's both give our best. Now the position of director has been filled. Everything is set.
I do love how it goes from Ryukishi to Takano. And no, I refuse to believe in neutral narration in this game. It is Ryukishi or Takano.
Wahaha.
Oh, the battle music. Wahaha! That's great, just great. Congratulations, Takano-san. No, Major Takano, isn't it? Wahaha!
This is all possible thanks to your assistance. I must give all my thanks to you.
Oh, don't
Thanks to
mention
all
it.
of you.
But we should save our congratulations until you've finished your research, huh? You're only at the starting line, aren't you?
Exactly. I'll be devoting my every waking moment to this research.
And we can hardly wait to see the result of what Dr. Takano couldn't finish. Wahaha!
Well now, Sensei, let's not talk about business.
That's another person.
Well now, Sensei, let's not talk about business today. Let's have a toast to congratulate Takano-san in the EDA Institute.
Hello, everyone. I'm
Nagata.
Nagata from the Ministry of Health and Welfare. I would like to say a few things before the toast.
Takano-san. Make sure he works hard, okay? His research center will be supporting the institute. If you need any technical support, just call him. Make him work hard. No, I have to thank you for your support. I'm Takano. Pleased to meet you.
Takano-san, let me introduce you to these gentlemen. Meet my boy, Tomitake Flash, and Okinogi-kun from the Self-Defense Force. They're your backup from the SDF. I'll let them introduce themselves. Okinogi is SDF?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Yes!
There he is.
Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Tomitake. I've been commanded to serve as an auditor of this project. I look forward to working with you.
The funding for our research is largely coming from the SDF. It's only natural for the SDF to assign a watchdog to make sure reasonable research is taking place. However, someone in a position like that should be my opponent. Why is someone in that position invited to this private party?
Dude, he's so drippy, dude. Like, I love his
That is his best sprite.
I don't like that the tie is blue in this instead of the green tie with the green suit.
True.
Like, he's so drippy.
This is
Let him cook.
Fuck. Hey, what was the movie? What's his fucking name? This is Oppenheimer. This entire episode, chapter is just Oppenheimer.
Takano would make a great Oppenheimer.
This is just Oppenheimer.
God.
Does that mean this auditor is on my side too? Seeing that thorough groundwork, I couldn't help but feel the strength of having a sponsor all over again.
Yeah, I won't be staying in Hinamizawa. I'll only come by routinely to check on the progress of the research.
Oh, that's too bad. Hinamizawa is a beautiful place with clean air. Please come visit us at any time outside of work too.
Thank you. I guess I will.
If he really is an auditor, I should maintain a good relationship with this man. He'll hold the key to all future adjustments to our funding as long as we continue drawing it from the SDF.
Oh, she maintains a good relationship with him, alright?
Hell yeah.
Oh! He's got his prank! He's so ugly! He's so ugly! Why does he look like that?
I fucking love Okinogi, man. Don't Google that name. This is you. You've been voicing him all this time.
I know, yeah, I was drinking water.
I know.
He's ugly as fuck, dude. Look at his
Love Okinogi.
look at his big ass nose. I'm Okinogi. Nice to meet you. Forgot that. I'm telling you, he fits, man.
It fits.
It fits. Shatner fits this goofy ass looking motherfucker.
Majima would also fit.
Yeah, Majima would have also very much fit. Ah, Kino-chan! Ah, Takano-chan!
Who's talking? Oh, it's
definitely the jobber. You want to take it?
He's the commanding officer of the Mountain Dogs, one of our unconventional warfare units. They'll be stationed in Yamizawa to provide you direct support, Major. Should I consider you my bodyguard then? Their principal duty is guarding VIPs and preserving secrets. Think of them as your hands and feet, and work them hard. Thank you.
Dude,
Look at these two.
Look at these fucking fellas, man. I can't believe it.
Could you believe? Did you expect this when you started Higurashi that we'd be having a conversation with the military forces of Japan to fund a research institute in Hinamizawa?
No. Did it make sense that we got here? Yeah. Yeah. I like how Tomatake's suit is fucked up and not in a straight line on the way down, but Okanogi's is. Do you see that?
He's just too buff.
He's so fucking ripped. This is you.
Tomatake seems to be the honest type for a military man, but this Okanogi person looks like the complete opposite. His main job is to preserve secrets, but I bet he's also good with espionage tactics like counterintelligence and information control. Yes, that would explain his demeanor. Since the SDF is funding our research on Hinamizawa syndrome, of course this is considered a military operation. Therefore, this research has to be done in secret. That's why a unit like this is necessary. Besides, it's very reassuring to have someone capable of combat working under me. I should maintain a good relationship with him too.
Okay, enough introductions. Come on, Tomatake Flash, you can relax too. Let's put aside our ranks today and have a toast.
While this is supposed to celebrate the establishment of the EDA Institute, EDA himself isn't here. But that's it. That is his job after all. EDA is simply a puppet to fill a seat. Of course, I expect him to help me a little with his expertise, but he's ultimately an outsider. This was supposed to be a gathering where I would show my appreciation to those who helped me establish the EDA Institute, but it has turned into them thanking me for all of my efforts. I'm always the one to pour alcohol for others, but today people are pouring alcohol from my glass. The new participants were trying to make me happy, and all the top people were talking to me casually. They all praised my hard work and my efforts. My research is now recognized by many institutions. I'm ready to spread my wings open wide. And all of the people who are expecting some returns once the research accomplishes something are trying to curry favor with me. But right now, I'm just very grateful, regardless of their motives.
And let's have a toast to wish the best to Mio Takano-kun and also the new EDA Institute. Arai, Sensei. Please lead the toast.
It's like a dream. I know. This is just beginning. I shouldn't be satisfied with this alone. But just for today, I can forget about everything else and enjoy this celebration. I'm not a heavy drinker, but the drinks taste good tonight, and the more I drink, the happier I get. This really is wonderful. To be called Major by Tomatake
Flash.
and the others is wonderful too. That's the rank my grandfather had during the war. That means I finally caught up with my grandfather. This is only the beginning. From here on, I intend to reach what my grandfather couldn't. This is the best night of my life.
Actually, second best night of your life?
I ended up leaving to fix my makeup. I'm filled with elation. I need to feel fresh air to calm myself down. My heart is about to explode because I'm so happy. The gathering is taking place a little distance away from the main building. The restroom is in the main building, so I need to walk across the hallway. What?
What?
Does that say hallway?
Yeah, no, it's that hallway.
Okay. A beautiful and well-maintained Japanese garden is visible from the hallway. It's raining. I usually don't like the rain, but I don't mind it at all today. I feel like even the raindrops are congratulating me. The cool air feels pleasant on my hot skin. It took me a moment to notice how unsteady my footstep had become. Maybe I drank a little too much. It isn't like me to drink more than I can handle. Although this is a party, I don't want to embarrass myself, so I decided to cool off a little by looking at the beautiful Japanese garden. I found an elegant chair set up on a red carpet nearby and sat down on it. Since I was with my associates until now, I was forced to constantly be on my guard against embarrassing myself. But now that I was alone, I could let go and truly relax. When I look up at the sky, I realize it's still raining hard, but in the distance the horizon is a little lighter. Maybe it won't be raining for much longer. Well, that's normal. Rain stops eventually. No matter how cold it is, or how hard it's raining, rain stops eventually. I saw a pair of sandals and an umbrella, almost inviting me. So I took them into the garden. The tasteless laughter coming from the party sounds far away. I tilted the umbrella and looked up to the sky. I felt the raindrops hit my face. I gazed up at the sky for a while, forgetting all about my hair getting wet. I thought the rain would cool down my boiling heart, but as my body got cold, I started to feel miserable. My bare feet were all swollen, and the throbbing pain I felt made them seem twice their normal size. The gravel road continued forever. I didn't even know what direction I was heading in anymore.
Oh, it's Young talking.
I could no longer hear my pursuer. I had probably lost him by running through the woods like mad. My body was covered in scratches. I finally started to feel the pain from that. I felt both cold and hungry. There's no place nearby to take shelter from the rain. I was just on a little path in the woods. My worst fear was that I could end up heading back towards the orphanage, after bolting and losing my sense of direction. I crushed that man's finger. I didn't think I bit it off, but I was sure it would leave a scar. Taking that into consideration, it was very clear to me what kind of torture awaited me back at the orphanage. Therefore, I had to reach the House of Love and Mercy. If only it had been daytime, I could easily have found the right way to go. However, with this rain, there's nothing I could do. But I couldn't stop. I had to keep walking until I reached something. I wondered if Eriko and the others had escaped safely. I didn't know how many people came after us, but at least one came after me. In other words, it meant they had a better chance. Did they reach the House of Love and Mercy? Were they drying themselves with soft towels? And if they still remembered me, would they save a towel for me too? I felt so cold. I wanted to find shelter and sit down, but there was nothing of the sort. I saw a tree that looked like I could take shelter under it, but the branches and leaves were dripping with water. It was then that I realized that the sky was gradually getting darker. Would this day end in rain? There were no streetlights where I was. Soon enough, it would be totally dark. Then I wouldn't be able to walk any further. I just wanted to sit down, even if it was raining. But if I did sit down, I probably wouldn't be able to stand up again. So I endured. If I hadn't escaped with Eriko and the others, I wouldn't have to go through such misery. But compared to what I had to go through at the orphanage, this was nothing. Thinking about that was the only way to make myself move. But when I thought about that, this freezing, cold rain was far better than my life at the orphanage. That was only when compared to the life at the orphanage. Was it better than the normal lives of normal kids my age? I didn't even need to think about that. When my parents were alive, although we weren't rich, we led a normal life. The gentle smiles and forgivable selfishness. The sound of my mother cooking breakfast in the morning. The sound of a newspaper being folded. Precious memories like that. I didn't need anything else. I had plenty of friends. I had fun at school. I didn't like my teacher, but I liked studying. I had everything I needed. That was enough for me. I never complained. I never did anything bad. So why was this happening to me? Everything went downhill after that train accident. The die of fate kept rolling on. The die never showed its good side to me. If the accident was my fault, then I could have accepted it. But it wasn't. I wasn't even there. I waited for my parents at home. I liked going to the mall with them. We always had a meal at the restaurant in the mall. I always told them to let me know if they were going to the mall. But on that day, they went without me while I went to my friend's house to play. My friend wasn't in, so I went back home. I didn't see anyone at home and found a note that said they were going to the mall. I regretted going to my friend's house. I waited at home. They didn't come home. They were still gone by dinner time. I was getting hungry, and I got angry with my parents for leaving me. I thought they were having dinner at the mall restaurant without me. If I hadn't gotten to my friend's house, I'd be eating dinner at the restaurant too. I love the little flags came with Manga Gamer.
Oh, that came with.
That came with the kids' meals. I was collecting those flags. Yes, I was. I was trying to collect 20 of them, thinking that once I collected 20, something wonderful would happen. But I couldn't collect 20 of them. I only needed one more. If I had one more, maybe the accident wouldn't have happened. Very sad memory of a flag from a kid's meal. I kept waiting for my parents to come home from the mall. I was hungry, so I started to eat some dried fish. If I ate too much, my mother would find out, so I was careful not to gorge myself. Then the phone rang.
Man, Ryukishi just being like, oh yeah, Irie believes that people aren't like born villains and that like mental trauma causes them to become villains. And then this whole chapter is the, hey, here's Takedo's backstory so that you don't think she's just aimlessly a monster chapter.
Yeah. The only evil person in this entire series is, not entire series, in these games is, Tepe.
Tepe?
And that changes in the future, too. So, there's no evil characters in this game.
We get Tepe lore in the future?
Not in the visual novels.
But in...
The future.
Okay. And Ryukishi said, I believe in Confucius, nobody can be evil. And by God, it's a hot debate on whether or not he was right.
I assumed it was from my parents. I answered the phone in an angry manner, but it wasn't them at all. What happened to the house? We had rented it, so maybe somebody else had already moved in. What happened to my room? What about my desks and all the flags that were right in the right middle drawer? If it wasn't my house anymore, then where was I supposed to go? Even if it remained my house, my parents wouldn't be there to welcome me or protect me. Just because I didn't have my parents to protect me, the whole world became so cruel. How could anyone take me away from the house I was used to living in just because my parents are gone? Okay.
Okay, yeah, I saw that too. Weird.
Why didn't they just leave me alone?
Yeah, that was a secret hint that Ryukishi put in the game and totally not a graphical error.
Yeah. Actually, never mind. This is a spoiler meme. They asked me many things. They tried to confirm many things. But how could they have understood any of the forms they gave me? I was asked a yes or no question. I had no choice but to answer yes. And before I knew it, I ended up at the orphanage. It was beyond heartless. I didn't do anything wrong. I was just a little girl. I had to sign so many papers. But why this? The warm and gentle world ended suddenly without advance notice, and I was thrown into a cruel and merciless world alone. Was this the real world? Did I have any allies at all? Just because my parents died and I didn't have any relatives, the world had become so sad. When is Setai going to come up with a 6 instead of a 1 to make it for the continuous series of the latter? Oh, tears were pouring down my cheeks. The salty taste further saddened and irritated me. I couldn't do anything but cry. But no matter how hard I cried or pitied myself, the cold rain wouldn't warm my body or save me. I didn't even know where I was, or in which direction I should go. Iriko showed me a map to the House of Love and Mercy when we were planning our escape. But we only learned the shortest route. I was completely lost. But strangely, after I finished crying, I felt a ground of strength within myself. I once learned that tears wash away particles in the eyes, but there's a different purpose to them too. Tears also wash away what's in the heart. I clenched my fists and forced my feet to move. I headed in the direction that I believed to be correct on the gravel road. The rain was still pouring, and it was getting darker and darker. I roared at the sky amidst the rain. My sadness was turning into anger. You stupid god! Why? What have I done to deserve this? What did I do? I didn't do anything. I was just living a normal life, that's all. So why this? My daddy told me there were good things and bad things in life, but neither lasts for long. That means that this misery won't last that long either, right? I won't be all alone in this miserable place forever, right? Isn't that right? As I looked up, I felt raindrops hit my face. There is no God, I knew it in my heart. But such belief wouldn't save me. If I believed he was there, I should have been saved. No, I needed him to be there. Was he going to answer me? I heard thunder. Then I realized he was there. He was there, and he was listening to me. In his eyes, everyone was supposed to be equal, and he was listening to me. I've gone through enough. More than enough. If I was too happy before, then I could take this misery. But I wasn't. I was living a normal life. If he asked me if I was happy, then sure, I was. But this is what I get in return? That's not fair at all. I heard the thunder again. He was listening. I continued. If this fate of mine was your mistake, then let me be free. Please, end my misery and let me be happy again. But if this is in fact my fate, and I'm supposed to live this way until the end, then I don't want it. Kill me! Kill me now with your lightning! Just finish me off now. Come on. Kill me ruthlessly, right here and now! I heard the thunder again. It was loud enough to make me shiver. Normally I would just hide in the house and wait until the thunder went away. But on that day, I wasn't afraid. Come on! Kill me!
Strike me down, Zeus!
Miyoko Tanashi is right here! Just like you killed my parents, take my life too! The heavens replied to my provocation.
Tanashi?
The heavens took aim at me, a lowly human who dared sling constant insolent insults at them. It was my wish. I opened my arms. He's God, so he wouldn't miss me. However, I guess even God makes mistakes sometimes. Although he's supposed to be fair, he had been unfair with me. Come on, kill me! Take me to heaven! But if you fail to kill me then, try turning my destiny around. A flash from heaven. I thought I smelled something burning just before it hit. The sheer force knocked me to the ground. It was a strange experience. It was something that had just happened, but it already felt like it happened many years ago. I had no idea how long I was down for.
Takano actually got struck by lightning?
I smelled something odd. The bad stench woke me up. When I looked, I saw that a huge tree behind me had been split open. Its leaves were smoldering. I looked up and saw sparks in the darkness. I couldn't understand what just happened. I just stood there. The thunderbolt had struck. It didn't strike me. It struck the tree behind me. I didn't get to die. He was telling me to keep walking in the woods in the cold rain. I won my bet with God. I bet my life. I bet my life against the lightning and thunder. It could have killed me instantly, but he missed. So he had to fix my life. I looked up at the sky, laughing and bragging that I was still alive. I heard thunder again. It was acknowledging its loss. Come on, God. Save me. I won the bet, so save me from this misery. I stood there. I waited for God to do something while the rain poured down on me. But he didn't answer me again. I couldn't hear the thunder anymore. Again, I felt the warm tears pour down my cheeks. What was I thinking? If there was a God in heaven, he wouldn't have let anything like this happen to me. My miserable life was proof of God's non-existence. The darkness was about to swallow me utterly. Would I have to sleep out there? God must have wanted me to die slowly in this cold rain, instead of granting me an instant death by lightning. I wish the sun would go away. I wish the sun would never rise. I wish that, as the woods had grown completely dark, my existence would be hidden by that darkness. I wish that I could just disappear. Had it been an eternity, or was it a matter of seconds? I couldn't even tell time in such darkness. It was then I saw something. It was a light. I noticed it only because the woods were so dark. But was it really there? Had it been there this whole time? I felt like the light was inviting me towards it. It was a fluorescent light. I didn't normally like fluorescent lights because I always thought they looked cold. Like, but I didn't feel coldness from that white light. I made myself believe that the light was a guide sent by God. I had to believe, otherwise I wouldn't be saved. The light reflected in a puddle. It wasn't a muddy puddle. It was a puddle on asphalt. I had made it out of the woods, and I was on a paved road. The light was a street light. Being on a paved road didn't really resolve anything. It was just a country road. It was a road that went through the woods, so there were no houses, no shops, and not even a single car going by. There weren't many streetlights on the road, so it was still very dark. My feet touched asphalt. It felt so different from the gravel I had been walking on earlier. It felt almost merciful. My feet had grown used to walking on gravel, but after feeling the softness of asphalt, I never wanted to go back to the former again. I could only choose between heading left or heading right. I was grateful to God for leading me to this asphalt road, but I wished that He had given me a little more guidance. Such a little bit of luck couldn't make up for all the unhappiness I'd gone through. And that was when I sensed His guidance. I saw another light in the distance. It was only on the right side. I headed towards it, and when I got there, I understood what it was. I was amazed to find it there. A telephone booth. Who would actually make a call in the middle of nowhere? The telephone booth in the countryside was rather unusual. There was plenty of red public phones all over, but I had always thought telephone booths only existed in big cities. It almost looked as though the telephone booth had been put there as punishment for doing something bad. When I thought that, I felt bad for the lonely telephone booth. It reminded me of myself.
All bad telephone booths get banished into the woods.
Even if I went inside the telephone booth, what could I even do in there anyway? I already knew the answer to that question, but no matter what, I just had to get in there. The door squeaked as I opened it. There were lots of bugs flitting around because of the light. I usually hated bugs, but in that moment, I felt like they were my friends, sheltering from the rain like me. There was no heater, but it was still very warm inside of the booth. It sheltered me from the cold rain. Soon enough, I crumbled to the floor. The warmth from the fluorescent light embraced me gently. I felt like it was telling me that it was okay to cry. But I had no more tears left, because I cried them all when the lightning struck. Aching scratches covered my body. My calves were in pain too. Everything hurts everywhere, and I didn't want to get up ever again. I wished I could fall asleep. But if I did that, the staff from the orphanage might find me. The windows on the booth were high up, so if I sat down, I wouldn't be visible from the outside. But as it was the only shelter in these dark woods, the staff would be sure to check it. That's why I couldn't stay here for long. Telephones back then weren't completely made of glass, so it was possible to hide inside one.
Thank you, Ryukishi.
My exhausted spirit understood that I had to move, but I just couldn't make myself. Maybe I was experiencing some kind of vision. I felt a strange calmness that I'd never experienced before. I didn't feel that I was myself. It was very strange. I thought that maybe I was killed by that lightning. I'd assumed I was still Miyoko Tanashi, but maybe I wasn't her at all. I seriously considered those things. Then I started to think that the telephone booth had something to do with it. Because God led me there. He couldn't have done so just because it was providing shelter from the rain. There had to be something else. I wondered what it was. Could there be something in the booth that could save me? But what? The telephone booth is used to make a phone call. But I didn't have any money. But then I noticed something that looked like copper. My heart skipped a beat. The 10-yen coin I saw there wasn't there before. Did I just miss it? I didn't think so. It must have just showed up. In other words, this 10-yen coin was guidance from God. He was telling me to make a call with that coin. But who? There was no telephone book. In that case, I could only call a number I knew. Did God want me to do that then? There was only one coin. I could only call one number. And I couldn't talk for that long. I had challenged God earlier, So it's just a matter of course to think that God was challenging me in return. I had only one chance, and he wanted me to test my luck with that chance. I left the phone booth and looked up at the sky. Then I yelled in my heart, "You're on, God!" I wondered who I could call. Who? My house. My parents were dead, and I had no relatives. Even if I called, nobody would answer. Actually, the phone bill wouldn't have been paid for a long time, so the phone line would already be disconnected. My house was my lost life itself. No, the debris of my life. Calling home would simply be an expression of regret, which ran counter to the positive attitude of one trying to change their life. So surely using the coin to call my house was wrong. Which meant I had to cast this 10-yen coin towards my future. Future? My future? What future anyway? Then I heard a huge thunderclap, which cleared my mind. In that clear state of mind, I saw something from the past. It was the last sight of my father, his final moments on the hospital bed. Though suffering from pain, he tried to tell me something very important.
Oh, fuck. Do you even remember the voice
No.
of the film? Okay. If by chance I am to die, turn to Dr. Takano. Dr. Hifumi Takano. Say it for me.
Hifumi Takano.
That's right. Dr. Hifumi Takano. He's my former teacher. He will help you.
Daddy. Many doctors came into the room in a hurry. He wanted to tell me something else, but the doctor stopped him from talking, so it wasn't audible. It shouldn't have been, but it was to me. I heard it, but I didn't want to hear him say it while suffering, so I pretended I didn't hear. He said it while coughing. I heard it. They were numbers. I swallowed once. That's right. It was a phone number. He knew nobody would take me in because he had no relatives. He told me to get in touch with him, Dr. Hifumi Takano. He tried to tell me his phone number. What had I done? He tried so hard, using his last chance to tell me the most important thing. The thunder from earlier had made me remember it. The number I couldn't remember even once came out so smoothly. I dialed it in. This really was it. This was the number from my father's teacher, Dr. Takano. But my hand stopped just as I tried to put the coin in. What if I hadn't remembered it correctly? No, there's no need to hesitate. I had to believe in myself. This had to be the correct number. I had to dial it before I forgot it again. I picked up the phone and put the coin in. Beep. I heard the dial tone on the other end. After that point, I decided to kill myself if it didn't work.
It's just me popping the cyanide capsule in my mouth at the most minor inconvenience.
I could go back into the woods and wait for another lightning bolt. I could lie down and let the rainwater drown me too. I could also fall asleep in the middle of the road and wait for a car to run me over. I made up my mind and put the coin in. I didn't hesitate any longer. I dialed the number at once, but I had to be careful. If you dial quickly, sometimes you can make mistakes. I was getting irritated. That had almost made the phone number go vague in my head. I dialed the last digit and heard some electronic sounds on the other end. I hoped that I dialed the correct number. I didn't know what to say to Dr. Takano if it did connect. Where was I? What was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to ask him? I didn't know any of those things. Making a call isn't cheap. 1 10-yen coin would only buy me a short time to talk. The mind must have connected then. I heard a ringtone. I only had a short time once somebody answered the phone. I thought for a moment I couldn't put the phone down. I should put the phone down. Then I could at least get the coin back. I could call back after sorting out my thoughts. But then someone answered. Sesame Street.
It's Grandpa. Oh yeah, because it was kind of like Bugleberry. I found it immediately. Hello, this is the Takano residence.
I felt like I was suffocating. My memory had been correct. I couldn't tell the age of the speaker, but it was a grown man's voice. Anyone who was my father's teacher must have been quite old. Never mind that. I had to hurry and say something. Hurry. Are you Dr. Takano? Dr. Hifumi Takano?
Yes, who is this?
He must have been suspicious. I couldn't blame him. A stranger was asking him about his name. Of course he'd get suspicious. I'm sorry. I'm Tanashi. Miyoko Tanashi.
Tanashi-san. Yes.
My father told me to get in touch with you. His name is Takemitsu Tanashi.
Tanashi. Tanashi-kun. I remember him.
His voice suddenly changed. Dr. Takano had remembered his old student. I'm his daughter. He told me to call you.
Did something happen to Tanashi-kun?
Not good. I was going to run out of time. My parents died in a train accident, and I was told to call you.
Tanashi-kun is dead? I see. Both of them. I'm sorry to hear that. I knew him from when he was teaching at a college. He was a very hard-working young man. I think the last time I saw him was at the wedding.
Obviously, he didn't know I was born. But he remembered my father. That was truly a stroke of luck.
And what did Tanashi-kun want to tell me?
Well, I didn't know what to say. I was only told to call Dr. Takano. How could I tell him that? My time was running out. I felt more and more anxious by the minute. Phone calls were disconnected without notice. But somehow I sensed it. I had only enough time for one sentence, so I decided to say one sentence filled with all of my hopes. Help me! The phone call got disconnected. Maybe he only heard part of what I said. I can only hope he was able to sense my despair. I couldn't hear anything from the receiver anymore, but I actually talked to Dr. Takano. I confirmed that Dr. Takano existed. He existed, and he remembered my father. If he grieved over his student's death, he would come visit my house, and he would find out I was sent to an orphanage. Then he would come and get me. That's when my tears flowed down my cheeks again. I thought my life was hopeless. I never knew that finding even a grain of hope could make me feel so happy and strong. The voice I heard on the phone was so warm and dependable. My father must have thought about me for a long time in that hospital bed, and come up with a name that he could trust his daughter with. Dr. Hifumi Takano. So I could trust Dr. Takano. I had to believe that he could find me, but it might take more than just a few days. I'd have to wait patiently. A few days? A month? More? I could only wait patiently. Either way, I couldn't stay in the telephone box. The staff would easily find me there. I went out into the rain again, but this time, the rain felt a little warmer than before. I had wished to die by lightning, but after that phone call, I was filled with hope and the will to live. I wanted to live, and that was why I felt pain all over my body. When I still wished to die, I didn't feel anything. I had to wait patiently until Dr. Takano came to pick me up. I had to get to the House of Love and Mercy. That would be the best place to wait for him. I didn't think the orphanage would tell him I escaped to the House of Love and Mercy, but the house wouldn't stop me from calling him. All I'd have to do was call him again and let him know where I was. But I didn't know where I could find the House of Love and Mercy. I couldn't see any signs anywhere. I didn't even know what direction the orphanage I escaped from was in. But I couldn't just stop. I had to walk. I had to find shelter. I had to find someone and ask directions to the House of Love and Mercy. I had to keep going, because I finally saw the light at the end of the tunnel. The light at the end of the tunnel. The chills and throbbing pain tormented me, but I couldn't die until I met Takano-san, sensei. I wished the car would come by. If it was someone who lived in the area, I could ask, but the police wouldn't do me any good. I was sure the orphanage had already called the police about our escape, and they wouldn't be forgiving. The police were sure to send me back to the orphanage. Either way, I wish that someone would show up. Otherwise, I'd have to keep walking on the asphalt in the darkness forever.
It's cagey.
How long did I walk? Still no car. Just as I couldn't help but think that maybe the world perished, leaving only me behind, a car showed up. I sensed the car coming up behind me, so I turned around. I saw their headlights approaching me. I thought for a moment. Should I stand in the middle of the street to stop the car? It was so dark. I didn't think the car would notice if I just waved at it. But if I were to stand in the middle of the street, I could get run over. While I thought, the car was getting closer and closer.
Clower.
Manga gamer. When I made the phone call, I panicked and didn't know what to say. So with this car, I had to think very carefully. If I couldn't think of anything, then I should just let the car go. With those thoughts vaguely in my mind, I was incredibly surprised when the car slammed the brakes with a screech and came to a stop. Maybe I wasn't all there after that miraculous experience of lightning striking near me. I had lost half my mind in those dark woods, so I probably wasn't thinking very straight. Because the car had stopped after recognizing me. In other words, the driver knew who I was. And the only people in the area who had recognized me were... Suddenly a chill ran down my whole body. I started to dash away. I heard a voice calling after me. I no longer had the strength to run. My feet were trembling, and I couldn't make them cooperate. I realized then that I shouldn't have sat down in the telephone booth. That's why I couldn't keep running. I was suddenly grabbed from behind. The collar of my clothes was almost choking me. I heard fabric being ripped. I fell in a puddle, and a staff member got on top of me. This time, his finger wasn't in my mouth. All I could do was struggle. As I did, I remembered all the scary stories Eriko and the others told me. All the tortures the child who was caught had to endure. The drowned duck punishment, the squished caterpillar punishment, and the splayed piggy punishment. The names of those eerie-sounding punishments came to my mind. I screamed and struggled with all my might, but it was too late. I was shoved into the back seat of the car. Why couldn't they just let me go? Simple. They didn't want me talking about them to anybody. The staff were yelling and screaming while chasing me, but once we were in the car, they were silent. They went silent. It was like the Grim Reaper had come to get me. Whether I liked it or not, I had come to terms with the fact that my luck had run out. But I had called Takano-sensei, so I knew he would come to get me. I didn't know when that would be, but I knew it would happen someday. So I wanted to live. I would be saved if I lived. I couldn't even imagine the kind of punishment that was waiting for me. But even so, I said to myself, I have to live. I'd already found the light at the end of the tunnel. All I had to do was endure until I reached it. The car stopped. I had arrived at the front gate of the orphanage. The two staff members grabbed my shoulders so I wouldn't run. My shoulders were very skinny, so it hurt a lot. I was scared of what I would have to go through. We went through the door. I was finally sheltered from the rain. In a way, I wasn't sheltered at all, though. It was in the middle of the night, and long past time to turn all the lights off. The orphanage should have been quiet. But I heard a noise. It was a strange noise. A noise of a shower. The noise of metal objects crashing into each other. Also the staff's yelling and screaming. A chill went down my spine. What could I possibly write down to fully describe this fear? A staff member knocked on the door of the storage room, and the door opened. The moment it did, an angry roar issued from inside. The sight leapt into my eyes. I couldn't completely take in the bizarre scene before me. Two staff members were hitting a mat with bamboo swords while yelling violently. It was a mat, used in, the one you use when you do gymnastics. But why is it rolled up like that?
A yoga mat, perhaps?
The rolled-up mat was tied with a string and was standing up in the corner. The staff members kept hitting it. Usually words are said to a person, but why were they yelling at a rolled-up mat? The way they were hitting and yelling at it, it was as if they had gone mad. But wait, I could see something sticking out from the bottom of the rolled-up mat. It was... let me see. Whose shoes were those? All of a sudden, I froze. I couldn't think anymore. One man stood in front of me. The man's pinky finger was wrapped in bandages. My eyes moved upwards from his pinky finger and met with his. The beast's eyes met mine, peering with intent to devour me. I squeezed out a voiceless scream. My voice didn't come out, so it was more like a goldfish opening and closing its mouth. The beast stuck its little finger in front of me and roared. I couldn't tell if it was a word or a meaningless shriek, but I was certain it was something abusive. I was scared. I didn't want to die. I wanted to live. I knew that Dr. Takano would show up to save me. That was why I had to live and submit myself to the fear. I'm sorry. I guess that was her. I can't scream now. The hand with the bandages that grabbed my hair and dragged me along. All I could do was apologize and beg for forgiveness while hoping the beast had even a tiny bit of mercy in him. I was like a broken, apologizing doll. A mad doll that kept muttering apologies until its key wound down. I was their toy, shedding tears, coughing blood, and apologizing in the place of clicking gears. I could see into the shower room while he dragged me along. The door was open.
Alright.
The door was open, and I heard wailing from the inside. What I saw was very strange. There was a locker on his side in the shower. What an odd sight. A locker was taking a shower, sideways. I'd never even imagined anything like it before. The locker was taking a cold shower while two staff members hit it with bamboo swords. That explained the metallic noise I heard before. The beast didn't want me to see that. He pulled my hair violently and twisted my neck so that I looked in the opposite direction. Then I realized. He didn't do that to stop me from watching that shower. He made me do that to look at something else. I saw a window in a courtyard. Usually it was too dark to see anything, but the lights were on and the courtyard was very bright. Then I saw it. Inside the hen house, I saw... What was that? That hair was Eriko's. But why was she, That was far too,
Okay.
What? Whoa! I'm sorry. Ah! I didn't want to die. I knew Dr. Takano was coming to save me. I know he's coming. I was taken to the staff bathroom. It stunk of ammonia. Which just doesn't fit in the bathroom. Why was this in the middle of the bathroom, I thought? He's not playing with me, is he?
Have you ever
No.
had a dream that you dreamed that the dream you dreamed that you dreamed that could do anything?
No way. No.
Tadashi, this is your punishment for breaking the rules, okay? Oops.
Good job.
Thanks. Everyone must follow the rules. If you don't, you get punished. Do you understand?
I'm sorry. I'll never do it again. I'll do everything you tell me to do, I promise. I really do. Please spare me. Please spare me from... No, that hurts. No. No!
See why random PTSD Takano flashback?
Woo-wee. Well,
Is that the chapter?
think so. Oh, another chance. Experience a moment of punishment.
Man, we ain't ever gonna get tips.
No tips.
Are there just no tips in this game?
There's something.
Ryukishi put the tip button in the game so that you could have the first three chapters give you no tips.
How was that? Was that cool or what? The fucking lightning scene?
The lightning shit is sick. Takano is a character.
She's a great character.
She is a great character. Me making bets with God.
Strike me down, God.
Strike me down, Zeus. That was probably the funniest fucking thing in that scene when she was in the phone booth and she was just like, if this number doesn't work, I'm going to kill myself.
I'm just gonna kill myself. All right, so we got Takano lore today.
We did get Takano lore today.
Got a lot of Takano lore today. Some EDA lore even.
We got EDA lore. We got lore.
Okanogi.
We got the Okanogi sprite. And then we got Ryukishi talking about the fucking shadow government for like half an hour.
That was like an hour and a half, chill.
It's so long.
It was pretty long. All right, well.
All right.
Next time.
In October.
In October.
It's going to be Halloween.
Yeah.
We're going to record on Halloween.
No, we're not.
They don't need to know that.
Why you don't need to lie to them.
I want...
Why are you crying?
I want to record on Halloween.